So in the last module we have studied that how the Constitution of India has been framed in around 3 years. Okay. Now we will see that what are the main features, actually important features of the Indian Constitution are. Okay. So the preamble to the Constitution of India, this you have seen even yeah, this is in your book, the same page is in your book also. So what is actually the preamble is? Can be referred as a preface, okay, which highlight the essence of the entire constitution. जब भी कोई बुक लिखी जाती है तो वो बुक किस चीज के बारे में है, दैट समराइज अ पेज, ओके, जिसके बारे में एक पेज होता है हर एक बुक का, which actually defines, which reflects about what is the book all about. So same ways the constitution preamble is also a page which reflects about the summarization, or we say what is the Indian Constitution is all about. So it was adopted on the 26th November 1949 by the Constituent Assembly and came into effect from 26th January. The preamble to the Constitution of India is a brief introductory statement that set out the purpose and principle of the document. So preamble is actually a brief introductory statement which tells us about the purpose and the principle of this document. इस डॉक्यूमेंट का पर्पस क्या है, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, और इसमें कौन सी फंडामेंटल चीजें रखी गई है. ओके, व्हाट आर द प्रिंसिपल्स. So yeah, this is the exact picture of the people of the preamble. You have seen this also at the starting of your textbook. Okay, we the people of India have solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure all its citizens justice. So actually, to whom this book is dedicated? This book is dedicated to the people of India. So that's why it starts with the statement of we the people of India have solemnly resolved to constitute India. और हम लोगों ने एक मत होके इंडिया को कंबाइंड रखने के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूट इंडिया इनटू, और इंडिया किन चीजों के बेसिस पे कंबाइंड रहेगा, देयर शुड बी सॉवरेन, सोशलिस्ट, सेक्युलर, डेमोक्रेटिक, रिपब्लिक एंड टू सिक्योर ऑल इट्स. और ये इन सारी चीजों की जो सिक्योरिटी है, ऑल द इंडियन सिटीजन आर सिक्योर बाय दीज फंडामेंटल्स. ओके, अभी हम आगे के स्लाइड्स में ये चीजें, जो टर्म्स है जो आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहे हैं, वो अभी मैं आगे के स्लाइड्स में आपको समझाऊंगी. Justice, social, economic and political. So there should be the justice in all these three dimensions. Social means related to the society, then economic, that is related to the monetary, and the political justice should also be there. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. Liberty means freedom. So there is a freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. Equality of the status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all. And there should be the equality of the status and the opportunity. ऐसा नहीं हो that if I belong to the rich class then I should get the opportunity easily. Somebody who belongs to the poor class or not so upper class of the society, they should not get the opportunity. So there should be the equality in the status and the opportunity. Fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. If there is a fraternity, see, India is a country with a lot of fraternity, बहुत सारी community है. So there should be the dignity, means इज्जत, honor of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation also. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मेरा खुद का ही अकेले की dignity या honor है. So there is a dignity and integrity of the whole nation is also there. Okay, in our Constituent Assembly, the 26th day of the November 1949, do hereby adopt and enact and give to ourselves this constitution. और इन अवर और हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में 26 नवंबर 1949 को हमने इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अडेप्ट किया और अपने आप को ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दिया, बिकॉज द एक्सट्रीम पावर इन इंडिया इज to the people. That's why we are giving this book of the constitution to ourselves. Okay, now we will see that what are the salient features of the Indian Constitution. Now, what is the salient feature? Salient means the important features of the Indian Constitution. So the salient features of the Indian Constitution is, it is the longest written constitution in the world. We have a single citizenship. We don't have a two citizenship. For example, I only have an Indian citizenship. I don't have the dual, like I am having Gujarati also and I am having Indian also. We don't have such citizenship. We only have a one citizenship. Okay. In other democratic country like the America, Canada, if you will see that there is a dual citizenship system is there. Okay. Now, India has a democratic, socialist, sovereign, secular and republic, okay, state. Now we will see what exactly it means in the next slide. Then people of India had some fundamental rights. They also have some fundamental duties. And a lot of times you have heard that India is a federal state. So what actually the federal state means, this is all we are going to see in the next slides. Yeah. Now, what does this term sovereign means? It means the absolute independent. Now we are not under the control of, or we are not ruled by the British. So before 1947 India was not a sovereign. So 1947 के पहले India sovereign नहीं था. We were under the rule of the British, and now we can frame our own policy without any outside interference. That is called the sovereign. Sovereign means जहाँ पे वहाँ के लोगों को, वहाँ के इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट को हक हो अपना खुद का डिसीजन लेने का, अपने खुद की पॉलिसीज बनाने का, एंड वो किसी और कंट्री या पावर से रूल्ड नहीं हो. दैट इज कॉल्ड द सॉवरेन. Term is the socialist. What it means? It implies a system which will attempt to avoid concentration of the wealth in the few hands and will assure its equitable distribution. Means socialist means the wealth of the country should not go in the hand of a few people. जो कंट्री का इकोनॉमी है, वेल्थ है, वो किसी कुछ लोगों के हाथ में नहीं होना चाहिए, but there should be an equal distribution of that wealth. Okay, and it also implies that India is against the exploitation in the all form, believes in the economic justice to all its citizens. Okay, ये जो हम बात करते हैं ना कि रिच और पुअर के बीच में बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस है, जो पुअर है वो बहुत पुअर है, रिच है वो बहुत रिच है. सो दिट शुड नॉट हैपन. ये क्यों होता है? बिकॉज वेल्थ का इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं होता. इफ देयर इज अ इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द हेल्थ, तो जो रिच होंगे वो बहुत ज़्यादा रिच नहीं होंगे, पुअर होंगे वो बहुत रिच नहीं, बहुत पुअर नहीं होंगे. सो देयर इज सम एवरेज कंडीशन. ओके, देयर इज सम एवरेज इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन, ताकि जो पुअर हो उसका भी बेसिक नीड्स तो एटलीस्ट कंप्लीट होता हो. So this is called the socialist. Secular. Okay, secular. Why we need to include this term is because India is such a country where there are several religions and each individual has a fundamental profess any religion he likes. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे रिलीजन के लोग रहते हैं, इसलिए इस वर्ड को डाला गया ताकि everybody is free to follow their own religion, and on the other side they have to respect the religion of other people also. You are free to follow any religion you like, but it doesn't mean that you should go against the religion of other. You have to respect them also. And the state neither accept any specific religion nor discriminate on the basis of the religion. Religion basis पे कोई differences, discrimination नहीं होनी चाहिए. Okay? Now, the term is the democratic. What does the democratic means? It means the power of the government is vested in the hands of the people. गवर्नमेंट को जो पावर मिला है वो कहाँ से मिला है? पीपल से मिला है, बिकॉज पीपल इलेक्ट द गवर्नमेंट. People exercise their power through the elected representative who in turn are responsible to them. हम जिस गवर्नमेंट को इलेक्ट करते हैं उससे हम तो जब नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन होता है, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट हर जगह पे जो गवर्नमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स होते हैं वो रैलीज करते हैं और बताते हैं कि आपने हमें चुना था तो हमने ये काम किया, हम आगे ये काम करेंगे. देन so they are directly responsible. They are responsible to the people. Okay, that is called the democracy. All the citizens enjoy the equal political right. जो political right है वो हर एक इंडियन सिटीजन के लिए सेम है. Now what does the republic means? Republic means the head of the state is not hereditary monarch but a president who is indirectly elected by the people for a definite period. Republic means जो स्टेट का हेड है वो कोई एक ही फैमिली को बिलोंग नहीं करता हो, जैसे कि राजाशाही में होता था. But here the president is elected by the MPs, members of the parliament, who all are directly elected by the people. They indirectly elect the president. Okay, so as the people do the process of the election, process of electing the government, so there is no monarchy. That's why it is called the republic. Means government for the people, by the people, and of the people. Now, in the Constitution of India, we citizens are given some fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are defined as the basic human right to all the citizens. These rights are given to all the citizens, discriminating their religion, status, economic status, political status. So these fundamental rights are for all the citizens of India. Defined in the part 3 of the Constitution, apply irrespective of the race, place of birth, religion, caste, creed or sex. Okay, sex means gender. So these rights are applied to all the citizens of India. Okay. Fundamental rights. Right to equality means all are equal. Right to the freedom. Okay, means freedom of the speech, faith, expression. These are called the right to the freedom. Then right against the exploitation. If someone exploit you, अगर आपको किसी ने exploit किया on the basis of your caste, on the basis of your sex, on the basis of your economical status, then you has a right to file a complaint regarding that person. Okay, so this is called the right against the exploitation. You have all the right to go to the court. Right to the freedom of the religion. Yeah, you are free to follow any religion. Cultural and the educational rights. Okay, what is the educational right? All the children below 14 years has a right of education. No school can say no to them. Okay, so that is a right of education. Then the cultural means whatever culture followed by your ancestor, you are free to follow that culture. Okay, there is no restriction on that. Right to the constitutional remedies. Constitutional remedies means if you go to the court for any exploitation, then you people are free to get the constitutional protection, that is called the constitutional remedies. Now, as we all have a fundamental rights, so we also have some duties. Okay, जहाँ rights होता है वहाँ duties होते हैं. जैसे आपको अगर कोई छूट है तो आपकी कोई जिम्मेदारी भी है. So what are the fundamental duties? To abide by the constitution and respect the ideals and the institution. You have to abide by the principles of the constitution. Constitutions में जो laws, rules, regulation है, you are abide by that. You have to follow that. Okay, and you have to respect the institutions like parliament, Supreme Court. Okay, all this. To respect the national flag and national anthem. So you have to respect the national flag and national anthem. If national anthem is going on, you have to stand. Okay, you don't have to litter the national flag, either it is made up of paper, plastic or whatever. You don't have to litter it anywhere. So this is how you have to respect the national flag and national anthem to realize and follow the essential ideas of the secularism, democracy and non-violence. Okay, so you have to abide by these ideals. Okay, you should be secular, democratic and non-violence. In the democratic country or in the democracy, you have all the freedom to get to not agree with the government policy or the scheme somewhere. Then you are not allowed for the non-violence. Okay, peaceful protest can be done, but non-violence is not allowed. To preserve the culture and the heritage. Okay, कल्चर और हेरिटेज है मीन्स जैसे हम ओल्ड मॉन्यूमेंट में कहीं घूमने जाते हैं, कोई ओल्ड टेम्पल, मॉन्यूमेंट्स, केव, समथिंग, व्हेन वी विजिट, तो वी डोंट हैव टू हार्म इट, हमको उसको नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाना है, बट टू प्रिजर्व इट, टू प्रोटेक्ट द सॉवरेनिटी, यूनिटी एंड इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ द नेशन. वी शुड डू ऑल द थिंग्स to protect the unity of this nation, to safeguard the public property. है ना, हमारा काम तो बहुत है कि हम पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी, ट्रेन में, बस में, गार्डन में जाना हमको पसंद है, लेकिन उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना, साफ सुथरा रखना, क्लीन रखना, that we forget. Okay, so that is also a duty of the citizens only, to defend the country at the cost of your life. Okay, that's what, for that purpose only we have the national defense system. लेकिन वो सिर्फ आर्मी या डिफेंस के लोगों का काम नहीं है. इट इज आवर ड्यूटी टू सेफगार्ड द कंट्री, टू डिफेंड द कंट्री एट एनी कॉस्ट, इवन एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ, टू प्रोटेक्ट द नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. मीन्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल्स द मिनरल्स विच वी टेक आउट अंडर द अर्थ, so there is a restriction for it that we should follow. We should not cut down the forest. Then the wild animals and the wildlife sanctuaries should be protected. We should not harm all that. To avoid the dowry, gambling and the other social evils, so we should not involve in all these illegal activities. To strive towards the excellence in the respective sphere of the activities of the individual. So we should always do such activity which show us as a good citizen of the country. Okay, the last keyword to understand is the federal state. Federal means where there is government at the different level, union government, state government and the local government. But basically the Indian government is divided into the two part. There is a distribution of the subject to the central and the state government, and they can frame the law as per the subject is divided to them. For example, डिफेंस या कंट्री को लेके कोई भी डिसीजन है या लॉ है, वो सिर्फ यूनियन गवर्नमेंट ही बना सकती है. ओके, that can't be done by the state. And suppose if there is an education policy, उसका भी कुछ पार्ट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास है. बेसिक जो प्लान है that is a central government plan. और उसका जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का पार्ट है और थोड़े से जो रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस एंड द बुक्स एंड बोर्ड डिसीजन, दिस ऑल इज विद द स्टेट। तो वो सारा जो डिसीजन है वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ही लेगी, इन दैट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कांट इंटरफियर, ओके। And in this way, in the constitution there are 3 lists, okay, which tells about, which defines the federalism of the India: union list, state list and the concurrent list. There are concurrent list means in which state and the union government both have to work together and have to frame the law. Law framed by the central or the union government are applicable to the entire nation. जो भी law है वो central government बनाती है, वो पूरे nation के लिए है. That is applicable to the entire nation. No state can say it no. Okay. So this is all about the Indian Constitution.